All right, here's a list of men that you should never date. I'm going to make this kind of short without much explanation. Number 1, the ugly man. Okay, if you're a pretty girl, don't go for the ugliest man. They're not going to treat you better. In fact, they're going to treat you much worse, because men have egos, and they're going to make sure that you are aware of that ego when they know that you are out of their league. Okay, number 2, the old man. If you are not above the age of 25, do not date old. They are not more mature. And you are not more wise beyond your years and need a older man. Okay, because if an older man was mature, he'd be dating somebody his own age. Number 3, tall men. Tall doesn't, they never did anything to get that height in their life. Okay, tall doesn't mean anything in this world except they're tall and attractive looking. They're usually very boring, actually. Yeah. Number 4, the man who's always working on themselves. Okay, that's code for I'm broke. Okay, they're broke. Number 5, they have a bad relationship with their mother. Those men are cheaters.
And there seems to be no sign of intelligent life anywhere.
All right, Colleen, talk about reflection. But let's go through your list. I mean, hey, let's be fair. Number 1, you said women shouldn't date the ugly man. So off rip, you want the Brad Pitts out. You want the super hot models, the Fabios. Cool. Exactly how do you qualify for those men? Anyway, let's go to your number 2. Don't date old men because you're not mature beyond your years. Tell us that you're trying to get rid of your competition without telling us. Seems like you aged out. The other guys that you want don't want you anymore. Number 3, tall men because they're boring. In other words, you just want men to entertain you. That's your primary purpose. Number 4, broke men. So please tell us again how men have to make 6 figures to date a broke girl? Just makes no sense. And number 5, men who have bad relationships with their mothers because those men are cheaters. Huh? Come again? How did you come up with that correlation? Because a guy has an issue with his mom, that means that he's an unfaithful kind of guy. That sounds like a you problem, like a personal experience that you had where some guy cheated on you and you figured, oh, because he didn't get along with his mother, that means that all men who don't get along with their mothers are cheaters. Please do not add anything else to your list because it just makes you sound more pathetic. Before we move on, I want to say thank you, fam, to all of my subscribers for supporting this channel. I truly appreciate all of you who leave comments, who like my videos, and share them on other social media platforms. I truly gotta say thanks, fam. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here. And for those of you who haven't subscribed yet, I thank you for tuning in, and I hope you decide to hit that subscribe button. Moving on!
These men are saying like that our advice is like too difficult and it's like too much work. If it's too much work to
then be single.
If it's too much work to approach a girl the right way and not be creepy about it, then like that's a you problem. Of course it's not gonna be easy. The reward is so valuable.
Literally just put yourself out there and give it a few tries and see what happens. I promise you'll literally be like, oh, this is actually really easy. All you have to do is maintain eye contact and read her body language and you're literally game. And just make sure you're in her league.
Of course it's not going to be easy. Us girls aren't just going to make it easy for you, especially if we are high value women. Why would you want something to be easy?
If you want something, why would you not go and get it?
God, Karen, you are so stupid.
Oh, this is awesome. 2 women who have never dated women in their lives are giving advice to men on how to date women. And the funny thing is how she said, oh, of course we're not going to make it easy. We high-value women are not going to make it easy. What makes you a high-value woman? I'm going to ask both of you. Are you both virgins? Because if you're not high value. See, you don't set your value. Men set your value. The market says your value. And you come in and say, oh yeah, dating women is super easy. Since you've never done it, you wouldn't know. Time and time again, women will say things about what men are supposed to do and always label it as easy. It's super easy. Make money. It's easy. Go up to women and ask them out. It's easy. Apparently, in their view, if you're born with a tube steak, life goes on easy mode for you. And if you're born with a taco, life is hard. Yeah, it must be super difficult being the one that gets approached, being the one who is given things just for being pretty, and living oblivious to the needs of the other gender because you don't have to learn anything about them because they approach you. Yeah, that sounds super difficult, sweetie. My best piece of advice to the Ditz twins here, both of you, have a coconut smile. Moving on.
The women who are done with men, can't stand men, are just sick of their shit and have resigned themselves to not dating anymore. And I'm not talking about in a temporary way, like pulling themselves off the market so they can find themselves. I'm talking about they have looked at the dating market and they're like, you know what? Probably not going to happen for me. Kind of done. They have some of the highest sense of self-worth. Because for you to realize your worth and then to survey all of the options that are in front of you and to respond to that with, I'm good. That's high self-esteem. That's what self-love looks like, right? It's like You want a little snack, and so you go to your refrigerator and you're looking and there's food in there, but there's just nothing in there that's appetizing. And you're like, none of this is worth the caloric intake. None of this is worth upsetting my stomach over. None of this is worth breaking my fast or my whatever dietary goals I have right now. I'm good. And you just close the refrigerator and you don't come back. That's what it's like for women. And that is how I know a woman has high self-esteem, because there is every reason for her to just be like, fuck it, I'll settle. And instead she would rather be alone. When I see women who have not figured this out yet, who are still gassing up men, praising them, who still have not figured out that the majority of men as a social group are just not on their A game these days, and they're trying to convince women that they need to do this or that or whatever in order to get one, I'm just like, oh, honey, you still haven't figured out your worth, have you? Like, that is the mark of not having figured out what you are worth yet as a woman, as a human. That's how I know when I talk to people. And I'm even talking about women who are in relationships. I meet women who are in relationships who are like, yeah, men suck. This one's all right. He can stay around for now. Fuck around and find out, though. You know, like, those women have realized their worth, even in a relationship. That's how you know.
She's going to sink, Captain.
But she can't sink. She's unsinkable.
She can't float.
Hold up, fam. She started off saying that women who realize their worth and look around and say, nah, I'm good, that's high self-esteem. You know what? I'm going to give a counter argument to that is actually rooted in a lot of real world examples. How about this? Something that I have said, and many other channels like myself have said this in the past. Women tend to overestimate themselves in the market. How do we know this? Because 70% plus of all divorces are put in by women, and the majority of those women who go into the dating market are the ones who make up these videos of complaining about men in the dating market who don't want to date a single mom, who will not propose to a woman who has a divorce history because they believe that they're going to end up divorced and lose half their stuff, who can't get the men that they believe that they qualify for. If you add it all up, it's because you miscalculated your worth. You believe that you are 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 levels above what you really are. 4s believe they're 9s. So women saying, oh, you know, I'm good because the dating market sucks because everybody else sucks. Yeah, it's amazing. All the men in the dating pool suck. It's not possible that you're the problem. And when she said that these women will say there is every reason I'll settle, but she'd rather be alone, let me correct that for you, sister, because this gorilla can catch that thing a mile away. No. It's not, okay, I'm not going to settle, I'd rather be alone. No, it's you couldn't get the men that you wanted. You were left with the men that were at your level, but you refused to accept that they're at your level, and you insist that you are 2, 3 levels above that. And the men who are 2, 3 levels above you that don't accept you, well, they're wrong for not accepting you. So you're going to say, I'm going to stay alone. No. It's not that you're going to stay alone. It's the men you want will not accept you. So you're forced to be alone or accept men who are at your level. But you believe that somehow, some way, being a divorced single mom of 2 with 2 different baby daddies, living off alimony and child support, qualifies you for a millionaire Chad/Tyrone. This isn't about you going to the fridge and saying, hey, I don't want these snacks. This is about you saying, well, offer me lobster, offer me marlin, offer me the top food so I can reject it because I want that ego boost. Nah, sister, you're looking at potato chips and 2-week-old stale fries. That's what you got to choose from. Moving on.
My hottest piece of dating advice ever is the Thank You More Please challenge. I'm Lily, feminist dating coach. I'm here to help you build a joyful as dating life that leads to extraordinary love. Let's get into it. If you fundamentally do not believe that what you want exists, or you are afraid that what you want does not exist, or you have been stuck in a string of mediocre bad dates and relationships, then this is for you. Feeling hopeless sucks, and it's a feeling, not a fact. And when we feel hopeless, it is more difficult to feel motivated to put ourselves out there and to ask people out and to engage in bringing your desire for the right relationship to life. So here's how to actually build the feeling and experience of hope in your dating life. It's with the Thank You More Please challenge, and you can do it today, right now. So number 1, acknowledge where you're at currently, acknowledge what thoughts are happening in your brain, and then it's time to do a both and. This is not to negate the difficult experiences that you've had with toxic positivity. No. This is to really ground yourself in the both and of like, yeah, my brain doesn't believe it yet, and I'm going out there to search for evidence that it does exist. So for 1 week, or just for one day, like literally just start today, go out into the world and look for slivers of evidence that what you want exists. You can start really, really small. What if a cute human passes you on the sidewalk? Say, thank you, more please. If you make eye contact with a cute human and you share a smile, say, thank you, more please, out loud after you pass. If you have a flirty interaction with your barista or your coworker, I don't know, say, thank you, more please, out loud. Getting in the mode of thank you, more please brings your brain into the awareness that there is evidence, even little bits of evidence, that what you want exists in the real world. The more evidence you gather, the more you are winning at the thank you, more please challenge. And I don't want to hear the evidence doesn't exist. There's no evidence, because there is. There is. Your brain is in confirmation bias mode. It is very used to protecting you. It has been protecting you for many, many years. Thank you for helping us survive. And I'm going to do the thank you, more please challenge to actually build hope and evidence that what I want does exist. So go do the thank you, more please challenge and let me know how it goes. This challenge has helped my clients build so much freaking hope, so much freaking confidence in that what they want exists, that they stop settling, they settle-proof their love lives. And it also gets you in the way of aligned opportunity, which is exactly how you are going to meet the love of your life. Okay, go do the thank you, more please challenge. Bye.
Alright fam, I'm going to tell you exactly how this gorilla reacted as soon as I finished seeing this video. I let this queen go on for nearly 3 minutes with her thank you, more please challenge, listened to her entire thing, and there was one thing that kept popping in my head. And I was hoping before the video ended out, she could have addressed it, but she did not address it. And let me explain what that was. You see, she says that the thank you, more please challenge is for women, because this is a womanist dating coach. Obviously one of the top tier niches you want to get dating advice from, because they know more than anyone. Regardless of that, it's so women can recognize that what they want is out there, so it exists, so they won't have to settle for what they have, so they won't be depressed, so they can see, yes, these men, the ideal men for me, are out there. I'm not gonna settle. Thank you, more please, say it out loud. And I gotta be honest, this gorilla felt like he was part of the crowd watching a circus act. And I kept asking myself, why is it that at no point do you address the huge underlying issue? That is, apart from the fact that, yes, the men that you want actually do exist out there. Yeah, of course. They're out there because 80% of the women want the top 20% of men. That's not a mystery. That's not something that you're going to say, thank you, more please, I have to sure that exists. No, we already know it's out there. But the big underlying issue, the huge flaw of this whole thing, the chink in the armor, the crack in the windshield, whatever you want to call it, is just because you acknowledge that these men exist and you say thank you, more please, doesn't mean that you're going to get them. This philosophy does not justify the man going to settle for you. Because remember, if you're a 4 wanting a man who is an 8 and say thank you, more please when you see him, why is the 8 going to settle for you? Because this coach said, don't settle for less. Say thank you, more please when you see better. Yes, but better would have to settle for you. And chances are better will not settle for you. The top 20% of men can choose from 80% of the women. So why are they going to choose you? If anything, this is going to make women a little bit more depressed. The advice that you should be giving women is, hey, you know what? Go to somebody who's very blunt, who's going to give it to you straight, and ask them to tell you, where do you fall in the totem pole? How high or low are you? And 9 times out of 10, this is usually a guy who doesn't care about hurting your feelings who's going to tell you it. And they'll shoot at you straight. Hey, you know what? I know you feel that you're a 7.5, but you actually are a 5. You are a mid. I mean, straight down the line kind of mid. And you want an 8. Now, will you get an 8 in your bed? Yeah. If that's all you want, having that 8 give you a tour of Pound Town and power drive you through the mattress, no problem. 5s can get that pretty easy, but that's not what you want. You want that 8 to commit to you, to have a relationship with you and be monogamous with you. Yeah, that's where the fallacy comes from. I mean, sister, I agree with her when she says thank you, please. That means when you go out when Channing Tyrone smashes your walls in, that's where you say thank you, more please.
It's got electrolytes.
I'm just saying, if you enjoy this audit, click on the video in the end screen for more content. If you would like to support the channel, please follow the link in the description to donate to our beer fund, or like, subscribe, and share this video on other social media platforms. If you agree or disagree with anything about this audit, please let us know in the comments. I'm going to leave this audit right here. I'll see all of you in the next episode.